Good afternoon, everyone. So we are starting here with the IELTS class. So you know that these classes are provided by CECA, and these are free of cost. We're not charging anything for the classes we provided here. And same like that, we also offer the PTE classes which are free of the cost, NATI classes which are free of the cost. So you can tell your near and dear ones if they after any of the such test, they can have the practice classes here, they can have the routine classes here every day throughout the week, right? So that's how we'll run the schedule for the classes of the PTE, IELTS and NATI. Besides that, we do offer the different services like the free TR lodgement, and we also do provided with a lot of the webinars on the questions you have in your mind regarding your PR options, pathways, and same like that, we do run a webinar which is going to be held on Tuesday. That's tomorrow, and it will be about the South Australia. If you have any query regarding that place, how you're gonna get the PR there, what are your pathways up to there, and got any question, so you can just assess that webinar. For that, you need to like this Facebook page of CECA, right? And just like it up there, and you will start receiving the updates. Turn on the notification updates, and you will start getting all the details about the webinars, about the classes, about the links, and about any other service you are after. And you can anytime send a message to just get answer to any query you have regarding your any of the courses, your PR, your TR lodgements, your extension of the visas, everything. So right now the counseling and migration counseling, education counseling, everything is free of cost. Besides that, we also offer the Canada migration, right? Free eligibility check is also there. You can call up on the number of the SECA through the Facebook page, and you can get the details like what documents are needed, and what are your chances for the same for the Canada migration if you are after that. So everything is done there, so you can avail those services. And that is also like if you get counseled for the Canada, that is also free of the cost, right? So it's like too many benefits under one roof, and you can avail them easily by just clicking just the links mentioned with the help of your mouse. That's it. You don't have to go anywhere, as we got all are under the lockdown restrictions and everything, and it's a bit hard to just get to know about the services and our options. And if you are just strucking out somewhere, so everything can be done very easily through the SECA and the services provided by the SECA, right? And we're waiting for all the participants to join us here so that we can start our class with. And the today topic is going to be the writing task 2, as we discussed the writing task 1 in the last week. We just discussed the writing task 1 for academic, for general, which is letter, right? Both. And today we're gonna talk about the writing task 2, which is essay, and that will be our agenda today. All right. And as usual, we will be starting class by 2:10 so that everyone can join here, and only then we will be starting the class. All right. So just more 3 minutes, and then we all set for today's class. Are you okay? Hello, Sana. You cannot get these slides anywhere because these are prepared by me. So they are with me only. So there is no source you can download them or something like that. It's not available anywhere. It just I prepared to make the work easy because through the slides it's become easy to make you guys understand what I'm saying, because then I can represent with the text, images and all that. So that's how it is. So to ease the process, I just made these all slides. slideshow for every item type or every module. So guys, yeah, 1 minute more and then we all set. Okay, so writing task two, which is, yes, welcome. And writing task two, you know that this is the things we're gonna discuss today. These are for both the candidates, whether you academic, whether you general, because writing task two is the essay. Yeah, but the topics of the essay for academic and general, they are a bit different. Just a slightest difference. And what is that? If you are an academic candidate, right, so the essays you will be having here, they will be more of academic nature. They will be, if the essays about the problem solution, the essay is going to be about the first world problems and asking solution for the same. And if it's about the education, so that will be related to the modest education system today, right, and what are the things which need to be there, and what are different people opinion on the same. So the topics will be very academic here, right, the essay topics. And when it goes to the general, as the name suggests, we know that the journal is a bit different than academic. So the topics for the essay, they will be related to more of general life. So if something is written that shopping habits of the people, so essay is going to be related to that. And it will be something about related to the children behavior. Definitely this can be the academic essay as well, because that this is the first world problem as well. But yes, this is more related to, okay, what kind of activities to be involved in children curriculum or day in daily schedule, so that he can become a more mature and more intelligent adult. So such topics more related to the journal life, they will be there with the general essays, right? But again, the strategies you are opting up, and the style, the structure you are opting up, the way you are just presenting the essay, it's all same, whether you are a student of any category, say academic or general, right? So that's why this is a combined club class for everyone, right? And here to start with, so always when you got a question in the task essay, right? So you will be having a statement which will be presenting you a situation, right? And beneath that, there will be a sentence mentioned, and that sentence will be in a question tone, right? This is how your essay will be looking like, right? So the first thing is that we have to understand the question, right? If we not able to understand the question, that means we are not able to actually fulfill the examiner requirement, like what we are going to write, explain, back up with example in our essay, right? That's very important. So understanding the question is very important. So first, you're reading a statement which may be stating that, like, today's the environmental pollution is pacing up due to the human involvement or the human activities, right? And then there is a question, what are the reasons of it, and what could be the possible solution for the same to curb this issue, right? Now, it has a statement where they are just explaining one situation, like the pollution is just going beyond the limits, right? Environmental pollution. Then comes the question. Now, the question is asking about reasons to the problem and solution to the problem. Now, it's important to understand that, so that we are sticking to that particular part in entire essay, that we are representing with the problems, and we just giving the solution to the problems, and avoiding any unnecessary detail to be added in the essay. And same goes to, if suppose there is a essay and beneath there is a sentence, okay, do you agree or disagree? Now, or, you know that or always stands for to choose one option between the given two, right? So here also it applies. If it says agree or disagree, that means you need to pick one side only, that if I'm agree with the given situation, I'll be writing the whole essay in the agree slot. And if I feel like, no, I have good ideas, if I go agree disagree to this essay, then I'll be writing the whole essay in the disagree way. And another is like, discuss both sides and give your opinion. Now, if it is says discuss both sides and give your opinion, then ultimately your essay need to have the both side discussion, the both opinion that need to be discussed, and also it needs to have your opinion, where you stand with the given opinions, right? So this is how you have to understand the question, So you must exactly know before attempting like what you have to write in the essay to keep it relevant, to fulfill the examiner requirement, and to score the highest on first parameter of the writing essay, which is task achievement, right? We got 4 parameters out of which we will be getting marks. The task achievement, right? And that's how we'll be getting marks for the same. If we only talking about that particular question only, we not adding any irrelevant detail, we sticking to that, we giving relevant ideas only, we not too much, we not over complicating anything. So that's how we will be getting mark in the task achievement, the first parameter, right? Then comes the another 3 parameter, which is going to be your vocabulary, your grammar, and your cohesion and coherence, how well you have just connected the ideas and the sentences in the essay, right? So this is first thing. And anybody's mic is up. Can you please turn that off? Okay, Paul, it's your mic. Can you please mute it down?
Yeah, I just went doing it. Thank you.
All right, no worries, welcome. And here, the second thing is when we understand the question, okay, it's going to be about one category out of the 5 we will be discussing, then we have to plan our answer, right? Now I got that, I need to write agree for the entire essay. So I need to collect the ideas for the same. So we will be given 40 minutes to write the essay in both categories, whether academic, general. So you will be planning, taking out 5 minutes to plan your essay, what you are going to write in your essay, how you will be backing up that statement, and what examples you are adding up to, just giving more authenticity to the points or the ideas you are mentioning, right? So this is the thing that we have to do in the planning part, and we need to take out 5 minutes for the same. So out of 40, if we're taking 5 minutes, we left with only 35 minutes. So even whether you are doing it on a computer or you're just going for a paper and pen based exam, you need to make sure that you are writing the entire essay, the 250 word essay, in 30 minutes, because we have to again save the last 5 minutes for proofreading, for checking for any spelling errors, any grammatical errors, sentence formation error, if we missed any word, if we just mistype any word in case of the computer typing. So everything we need to assess, recheck, so that there is no scope of losing marks just because of these tiny but important things, right? So first 5 minutes you are just taking out. You need to plan out. Okay, now this is an essay which asking children should be if just simply it's like it's an essay. Okay, it's about the plastic money. We got the cards for everything. So there are people who believe that the cards, the credit cards and everything, they are good, that people who can't afford the things at that time, they can buy with the help of the credit cards, right? And there is another group of people who believe that they make people under debt, and the people just buy and just go and buy the unnecessary articles, unnecessary things as well, just because they have money which they need to pay later. So it's like one group is in disagreement with the use of the credit card, with the excessive use of the availability of the credit card, and there is one group who is like yes, in favor of the credit card, no, this is good, right? So now we got 2 opinions here, and the essay state, discuss both sides and give your opinion, right? Now what is planning your answer for this question, that you have to think at least 2 ideas to think to write, like why people are in agreement with the credit cards. So maybe there is some some person is in a dire need of something, but he is not having money at that moment, right? I'm just giving an example, we are not definitely not using the same language. So it's like in that situation the credit card becomes a great help, right? And then you have to think some other point as well. So this is one idea, like they just get give you help in the time when you actually don't have money, right? And then you can explain it with an example as well, but never go after the personal example, never write any personal example there. You can choose the personal example, but you have to give it a general look to the example. So maybe you just want to write something like that, I was in a need of something, and at that moment I was not having that sufficient balance with me, budget with me, so I used credit card and it just fulfilled my purpose, and then later on I just paid in installments, right? Something like that maybe happened to you, but you have to write, if you want to write this thing, that you have to write in a journal tone, not in the personal tone. That's very important, right? And then you have to think one more idea related to the same thing, like why people are in favor of credit cards. So then comes to, and it is like, maybe we can talk about the low interest rate, we can talk about the um mm, uh, I mean, not losing money, like if you have lose money, so maybe it is like more prone to theft or something like that, or it is not the case with the credit card. So maybe I'm just putting up an idea. So I just planned, okay, this is thing I will be writing in body paragraph 1. Then on the other side, the people who believe that no, it is actually increasing the debt on people and leading to suicides or leading to depression. So why? So yeah, there is a point I mentioned, like yes, it actually leads the people to debt and certainly to depression, so deteriorating their quality of life. So they have then instant fear or instant stress on the mind to pay the installments, to just continuously thinking, okay, it will just the interest rate will build up and how I'm going to return the money, right? So maybe this is one thing. And sometimes they actually don't need something, but just because the credit card they got, they can buy it at that very moment and just instantly. So it is not an informed decision for the purchase. Actually, this is one side effect of having a credit card, not making informed decision about the purchases, right? And just paying for the stupid things, actually, without which our life is really easy, right? So maybe I just planned on these two things for the both side of the views. And my opinion is, like, you have to clearly state one thing here, right? You don't have to go biased or something like that, because this is just a essay writing and it's not actually your personal opinions or something. So just be formal here, just be practical here. Okay, so maybe I'm just picking up, no, credit card is a boon. So for me, my opinion is no, it's a good thing. But yes, it's personal. It depends on individual who are using it. It's just not the credit card side effects. It's just the mentality of the people using it, right? Which affects the or detroits the habits of the people or leading them into the stressful situation or something like that, right? So this is the work you have to do in the 5 minutes. Plan and think how you're gonna explain both the situation and where you stand. If essay says give your opinion as well, right? Then 30 minutes, write the essay, right? 250 words you have to write. You cannot write 249 word as well. And if you're doing on a computer, definitely there will be a word count which tell you for every word how many words you have typed. And if you are just doing on paper and pen based, you better make a layout plan for you. So how to make a layout plan for you? Just look how many words you write in one sentence, right? And just same like that, count it for 4 or 5 or one entire paragraph, right? Then you will get a rough idea. Okay, I'm a person who writes seven words in a sentence, who writes 6 words in a sentence, and there are people who just write only 5 words in a sentence, and if they are adding any preposition or article, so in that case it may be 6 or 7, right? So just take out that average for you, then count on the sentences. That means the lines, not the sentence, full sentence, just the line. How many lines? Maybe I'm writing 5 words in a sentence and I have written 5 lines, not sentences, right? So that means 5 into 5 equal to, then I have write 25 words. So somewhere I am 25 to 28, because I'm just I'm getting an average 5, so that's why it's somewhere around 25. So it will save your time for counting the word as well in the paper and pen based. And computer based, you have clear idea, you have clear count of the word, that how many word you left with, right? And never cross the limit, and try to be as near as you can be to this 250 word structure. So just maybe 255, max 260 is enough, right? Because this is also one thing which examiner look for, like how many words you have written, like how well informed response you can present with the given word count, because that's a format they have given to you, and it is not without any reason. There is a reason behind it, whether you able to explain everything beautifully in these 250 words, or you need more words, more words to explain the same situation, or you are a person who cannot explain these things or the thing asked in 250 words. So that's why there is a format, guys. So just be sure that you are just around 250 to max 260 words. Just this need to be your frame, and do not write less than that, because that's how you won't be achieving the word target and it will make you lose mark, right? And if you're writing the complex sentences, if every sentence you write is a complex, just for example, then it's about 12 sentences you are writing. So 30 minutes are more than enough to write 12 sentences, right? First thing we write is an introduction. So after you, and you will be done with the understanding the question, you have planned your answer, you have to write the introduction. So this is the part where you have to pay attention, because this will give an impression of yours to the examiner already, right? So the introduction should tell the examiner what the rest of the essay is about, and also answer the question directly. Now, as I told you, there is an question in that: agree, disagree, both side and opinion, advantage, disadvantage. So these are the questions thing, right? So examiner, the introduction, it need to have the understanding of the essay as well, that this is my understanding of the essay, and we just tell that by the thesis sentence. And also it need to have like what you are going to explain in the essay and what is your answer to those question asked, right? So that means the third sentence, it will be adding up like where you stand with this essay, and what type of opinions you, what type of essay you're gonna frame further. So this is everything I'll tell you with the structure, how you can write an introduction which actually which actually answer the question, which actually tell the examiner that you understood the question as well, and also it will tell the examiner how you are just going forward with your essay. So where your essay is tilting towards, to which point, to which idea, right? So the next comes the body paragraphs, where actually the main details we give. So second and third will be the body paragraph, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and last will be conclusion. So we will be following 4 paragraph structure. We are not exceeding paragraphs, we are not, definitely not decreasing at all. So we need to keep it to 4 only. Max you can write the 5 paragraphs, but keep it to 4. That is the best way of representation of the essay, right? Now, the main body paragraph, here you will be explaining about your ideas, you're giving that ideas or the thoughts you have regarding to in regards to the essay. Then you are obviously explaining, giving details about those ideas, and also adding the relevant examples to those ideas. So these are the areas of the essay where you are adding details, where you are adding example, where you giving explanation of what do you think about the given topic. Conclusion, 2 sentences are enough for the conclusion, and you should provide a summary of what you have already said in the rest of your essay. That's what the conclusions are about. These are the summaries of what we already discussed in the whole essay. So better if you can paraphrase the introduction, that's the best type of the conclusion you can frame. But yes, for that you need to learn the technique of the paraphrasing, and yes, a structure need to be there in the entire essay. Only then you can do that. And never ever forget to write any conclusion, because it will actually cost you a lot of marks if you're just missing on any conclusion. Even if you're running out of time, just write maybe 1 sentence only quickly, just summarizing the whole thing in 1 sentence, that's it. But never miss the conclusion, it is very important. As the introduction is important, so as the conclusion is important, right? Now we got 5 different type of the essays here. Opinion essay, where we have to say whether we agree or disagree with the given situation. Then comes the advantage disadvantages essay. Then come the problem and solution essay, discussion type essay, where we have to discuss both views. And then comes the 2-part question. So you see there are 5 most common IELTS writing task 2 question, which will be asking you certain questions. So this is the 5 type of essays. Yes, please ask it. Are you typing it? Okay, we're waiting. Okay, so the first type of the questions are opinion question, where they are asking, where the examiner asks you whether you agree or disagree to the given situation, right? So the typical question words, that mean the typical question sentences after the statement will be, what is your opinion? So it's opinion essay. Agree, disagree, to what extent agree, disagree, or a direct question like this, what is your opinion, right? So if any sort of such sentence is written, that means this essay relates to the opinion type of the question, where you have to tell where you are in favor of the essay or where you are against the essay, right? Now this is an exemplary question to the essay. Some people believe that unpaid community service should be a compulsory part of high school program. For example, working for a charity, improving the neighborhood, or teaching sports to younger children. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Now, some student ask, ma'am, if it is written like to what extent do you agree or disagree? So how we can write the essay? Always the best thing is you are just picking up one side, whether you are for, whether you are against the given statement, and you are just writing the essay because that's the best way possible. Just in case you're not getting the enough ideas to explain, if it is written to what extent and you're not getting enough idea to explain the one-sided essay, then maybe you can do the one paragraph you can make of agree, that I am agree, and then you can give few points in the second paragraph by stating again one point will be of agree but 2 points of disagreements, like this, like lesser disagreement more agreement, or more disagreement lesser agreement. You got that right, to what extent. But the best way possible is, as I told you, the opinion question always need to be written in one side. It's just the case you're not getting enough ideas, only in that case you can do that. But I recommend to avoid this situation because this will affect your task achievement score, right? And the structure for the opinion type of question is here, where it says introduction need to be have 3 sentences. First is paraphrase the statement. So it's like the statement is there, like in this case, this is the statement. Some people believe that till children, this part is the statement part. So you have to paraphrase this statement as the first sentence of your introduction. Now it goes with every structure, whether it's any type of the essay, you have to paraphrase the statement. It says we should write the word introduction, then intro, or just make 4 para section and write it. Thanks. You mean you are asking me that you need to write the word introduction? Better if you can talk.
Hi, yeah. Sorry, I was trying to talk before as well. My computer is giving me a bit trouble. Sorry about that.
All right.
Yeah. So like each of the paragraph, when we write the paras, let's say 4 sections, each of the section we write, like we write introduction, then we do intro, or we don't have to write this word like
No,
introduction.
no. You don't have to write the words.
Yeah,
You don't
just
have to
make
write
4
the words.
section. First section, the introduction. Second one is your thoughts,
When
and
you
fourth
want
one
to
is the
start
story.
writing your essay,
Yeah.
and you are just writing, you're starting with the paraphrasing of the statement in the
Correct.
question.
Yeah.
So it is already understood the first paragraph, that means the first paragraph you're writing, it is of introduction.
Correct.
You
Correct.
don't have to give title or something to it. It
Yeah.
is not needed, and it is actually must not be written.
Correct. Yes. Thank you.
Right. So just after that, when you're following with the second paragraph, it will be considered as main body paragraph 1, and then 2, then conclusion. So it automatically will be in a sequence and a paragraph sequence. That's how the essays are written, right? So
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
have to give title to anything. Just be mindful when you are typing it on a computer. So when you're clicking enter to go to the next sentence, the very next
Yeah.
sentence,
Put 2
and
line
when you're
space
just
maybe there.
changing the paragraph, you have to click it 2 times
Yeah.
to differentiate the paragraphs. And in
Okay.
paper based, you have to leave the one line blank after when you are starting every new paragraph, right? So this is
Thank
how
you.
you can easily differentiate, and examiner can easily get that. You don't have to give titles to any of the paragraph or sections, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
So the introduction, we are paraphrasing, and then we're giving the thesis statement. So thesis statement is the statement which tells like what you get from the essay, what is your understanding of the essay, that what this essay is saying. So if I'm talking about this particular essay, so this essay is saying, it is saying that some people believe that unpaid community service should be compulsory part, right? So this thesis statement will be, it is agreed that these community services need to be the important part or inseparable part of the school syllabi. So we need to paraphrase the things here. So maybe you can change the words like that. And then comes the outline sentence. So this essay will discuss. So this is an introduction which having everything in that. What is the question, right? What this essay is saying, and what you are going to write in this essay. So it need to have only 3 sentences. paraphrasing, thesis, and outlining sentence, which will be telling this essay will discuss. So what you are going to discuss in the essay, you can explain your main ideas here. Like suppose if you just talking about the two main benefits of having these curriculums in the school curriculum, so just write two benefits and then you can start with the main body paragraph one. Or sometimes students, they don't like to mention their key ideas or main ideas in this paragraph, so simply you can just make it very simple. This essay will discuss the situation, above mentioned situation, and leading to a logical conclusion. That's it. Or leading to the, or just maybe you can like on and summarizing with my opinion. Maybe this could be also the outline sentence. So this will give an intro sort of that what you will be finding in the whole essay to the examiner, right? Then comes the second paragraph. So the topic sentence means maybe you are in a favor of this thing, that these things need to be added into the school curriculum. So first sentence need to clearly state why you feel like this. If you just agree to this situation, so you will be writing your first main idea or thought related to that, why you feel this need to be added, right? And then just mention that in one sentence, which act as the topic sentence. Then explain that. If I write, so the children can learn the cooperation. So my idea of adding this thing is cooperative society. And then I need to explain how the society will be more cooperative if these things are added into the school curriculum, right? Now the second sentence is explanation of the same thing, and you can explain that very easily, like how, like definitely these skills will be embedded in the children from the school times, and definitely they will more polite towards each other, and they will know the values they are sharing with each other. So sort of things we need to mention here, kind of explanation. And then comes the third sentence, where you will be backing everything up with an example, right? So here you will be giving a relevant example. So maybe you can add like, as I generally explain you guys, that you can add any country example. Like suppose you pick up any country name, like suppose Japan, right? So in Japan, actually these curriculums are added up. Actually, these curriculums are added up into the syllabi, which helping them to develop a more tolerant and more cooperative society, right? So example needs to be very general and related to the general public. It should not be okay. So whosoever joined the class, kindly please turn off the mic. Okay, thank you. Right, so such examples works well with every type of essay. So I mean, previous week we had this class and we discussed the essay, and I just discussed the examples as well, what sort of examples you can write with the different categories of the essay. So for this one, if you're writing such example, it work fine with it. And then goes to the main body paragraph 2. Again, no titles, just I'm just explaining the second thing, that maybe my second idea, like the more tolerant society, right? So and or maybe the more helping society. So whatever is your main idea, the second main idea, you're going to mention it here in the first sentence, that act as again as a topic sentence. Then you will be explaining the same, again backing up with an example. So this is the structure you need to follow for our opinion based essays, right? Then you are giving a conclusion where you are summarizing everything you have mentioned already, right? And giving an opinion as well. If the question is asking your opinion, you can add your opinion. If it's not asking opinion, you can simply skip it and just writing the summary of what you have already written. Maybe you are just writing one sentence, one complex sentence, it's enough for conclusion. You're writing two compound sentences or two single sentences, they are enough for the conclusion, right? So the next category, advantage and disadvantage questions. So this is the second category of the essay, and the typical question words, as you can see, discuss the advantage and disadvantage, discuss the merit demerits, it can be like that as well, discuss the pros and cons, it can be like, okay, thank you Sheetal, and give your opinion, right? So it can be do the advantages outweigh the disadvantage. So any like a sentence here mentioned can be the typical question word where you can easily judge. Now this is a advantage disadvantage question category. Like this is an exemplary question beneath. Computers are being used more and more in education. Discuss the advantage and disadvantage and give your opinion. Sometime it is not there, just the first statement. Sometime it's there. So if it's there, that means we have to inculcate our own opinion in the description as well, right? So the structure which goes with the advantage disadvantage questions is here. So here you can see it says introduction where we are just writing 2 sentences. Now, what is the difference in between the opinion structure and the advantage disadvantage structure is thesis sentence, right? Because as it is just asking us the merit demerits of the given situation, so we won't be writing any thesis sentence because this essay is not agreeing to or disagreeing to any situation. It's just asking if this is the situation, what are the pros and cons of same, right? So we're missing on the thesis sentence here. So these are the small things which we have to actually add into the structure of the essays, which will give more clarity to the examiner that yes, this candidate is understanding enough to how to write this essay, how to write the specific categories of essays, right? So this is the again one example of the same where you just paraphrasing the statement, like the statement we have in the question. It says more and more they are used in the education. So paraphrasing, that means there are 2 ways to paraphrase the things. If you do not know any synonym, so the easiest way I told you, the latest part in the statement, bring it to the former part. The former part of the statement, bring it to the later part. Take it to the later part, right? So change the order. This is called change the order of the sentence that we generally discussed, right? And if you know some of the synonym, some of the words you know the synonym of, then already you need to change the order of the sentence, but try to add the synonym for every word you know, right? So this will ultimately paraphrase the whole statement. You are writing the same thing but with different words, but with different sentence structure. So this is how you can paraphrase easily. Definitely there are examples further. Just let me complete this one and I'll be just giving an example of introduction, how to write that by the given structure, then the body paragraphs, how you can write with the given structure, and then the conclusion as well. So everything is out there. So we will be completing step by step. Then comes the main body paragraph 1, where you are stating one advantage. After stating that advantage, that benefit, you are explaining that why it is a benefit, right? Like if I say it saves time, that computer involvement of computer in education, it saves time. So then that means you have to explain this situation, explain this benefit, then add an example into the same. Again, I told you what sort of examples you can pick. Like definitely you can give example like a survey conducted, a study published, right? So such example you can frame here, right? And examples, they can be something from the real world as well, and they can be imaginary as well, right? Just the paraphrase statement if you can. That mean we need to cover a long way, Paul. If you can stay here with me, we're simply reaching to the same thing. What are you asking, right? Then you need to add the result. That means if it saves time, so how actually it is giving positive outcomes. So such resulting sentence. Now this sentence can be before the example, it can be before example, and it can be after the example as well. Then goes to the second paragraph. The sentence 1, it need to have one state, one disadvantage. Explain that disadvantage. Same structure you need to follow with the main body paragraph 2nd. That is going to be 3rd paragraph of the essay. Then conclusion, and it is asked your opinion, like give your opinion this essay. So that's why there is a sentence mentioning opinion. Like what do you think? There are more advantages, or it is disadvantageous, or it is having more merits. So wherever you feel like, whatever your opinion, you can mention that in here in one sentence, right? Moving to the next one, which is both views question. So both view question is like where we have to discuss the both side of the opinion, like discuss both views of both points of view and give your opinion. So exemplary questions are like, computers are being used more and more in education. Can you please mute it down? And it's a Fahad. And you don't have to turn the videos on. All right. So computers are being used more and more in education. Some people say that this is a positive trend, while others argue that it is leading to negative consequences. Discuss both sides of this argument and then give your opinion. So it is saying like some people believe that like usage of computer in education, it is a good thing, while others argue that it is not a good thing. It's leading to negative consequences. So we have to discuss both sides of the argument, and also we need to present with our opinion as well. So for this essay, the structure will be here. Again, here we will be a paraphrasing of the statement, like whatever statement we got in the essay. Then we will be adding a thesis sentence, a statement to this one, and then giving the outline sentence, like this essay is going to discuss what things, right? So here we will be talking about the first viewpoint, discussing that, giving reasoning like why you are in favor of same viewpoint or you are not, you are against it. So maybe just one sentence of the same. Then explaining with an example here with the 4 sentence. So there will be 4 sentence in the main body paragraph 1. Same structure goes here, but yes, with the second viewpoint, like the people who believe it gives negative consequences, we will be mentioning in the first sentence why they believe so, discussing that further, and reasoning like why I am agree with that or I am disagree with this same opinion, and then example to support that view. Then some in the conclusion part, the summary need to be there, and also state which one is better or more important. So maybe I am agreeing here with the first viewpoint that it has the positive trend, right? Or it is just leading to the positive consequences. So that means here after summary, you will be stating that it is giving more fruitful results. So this is like this is more important. Then the next category, problem and solution essays, where they clearly asking what are the reasons to this problem and how we can solve this issue. So it can be causes and solution as well. Typical question word can easily be understandable. So students are becoming more and more reliant on computer. What are some of the problems associated with reliance on computers, and what are some of possible solutions, right? So we got this essay that reliance of students on computers. So what are the problems we are facing because of this one, and what could be the possible solution? So if it's an essay of problem solution, so first we are paraphrasing the statement. Then we are giving the outline sentence, like this essay will discuss what this essay is going to discuss. Then stating the first problem, like problem, and explaining that further, like what sort of problems we are just having just because of the students are too much reliant on computers now. Then adding the result to that, what will be the consequence of the same, and adding an example. So you can pick up any survey conducted. There was like example, a survey was conducted in a UK university, that the results which are the results of the students are more productive when they are using the libraries more often as compared to the computer learning. So maybe this example is fine here. You can quote such example. So you can just imagine example by using words like a survey conducted, a study was published, or you can give the country example. And sometime even if anything is not available, just think what you have heard in the news in regards to the same. Maybe you have read something somewhere. So just use that knowledge here and put up an example. And even if you're not getting anything at all, then you can just imagine something in regards to the situation you are talking. Same goes to here. You have to state the solution, like what could be the possible solution, how can this reliance be decreased, then explain that, and then add an example. So maybe again you can add any example, like this practice, it was done in this country and the results were really beneficial, and the student, they just through activities they tend to make student return to the normal learning, which is through the library, through the books rather than computers. So maybe such example you can fix up here. Then conclusion, you have to summarize whatever you have written in the entire essay. And then if you're feeling like, because such as is sometimes we have having less words and we still like about to reach to 250 and it's not 250, then we can add a recommendation, like what you want to recommend for this certain situation, or you can add a prediction here, like if this is not taken care now, so it will be having dire consequences in the future. So maybe something like that, a prediction you can write up here. And if you feel like by summarizing the words are sufficient, you have already written 250 252 words, then leave it, then you don't have to need to write the second sentence. Then comes the two-part question. Here it says the typical question words. There will normally be a statement and they will then ask you to answer to two separate questions. So here is the statement. These are very rare. These are very rare in the exam, but these are very common with the general candidates, right? So this is the statement. As most people spend a major part of their adult life at work, job satisfaction is an important element of individual well-being. So what factors contribute to job satisfaction? How realistic is the expectation of job satisfaction for all workers? So here we have two-part questions, and there is a statement, right? So these are rare in the academic, but yes, can be there, but they are more often can be seen in the general essays, right? So here goes the structure. It says paraphrase the statement and outline sentence, like what you are going to mention in both as the answer for the both question that you have to given in the outline sentence. Then answer first question, that means whatever idea you are picking up to answer, like the what factors contribute to job satisfaction, you're writing those factors in first sentence, then you are explaining those factors, right? Definitely you need more explanation here. Maybe you're writing 3 to 4 factors, so two sentences you are writing to explain these 4 factors, so ultimately you will be reaching to the word limit easily, and then adding an example to here, right? Again, this is something sort of good working practices example, so you can pick any country where you feel there are good working practices and these factors actually fulfilled and the productivity is more there. So you can pick up any example, such example, and you fix up here. Then here the second question, answer that question and explain definitely, and then add example again. Then the summarize, then you have to summarize it. Then whatever you have already written in the entire essay, that you give as a summary in one sentence only. Now coming to how you actually bringing everything into practice, the structure and everything. So here it is. First, the paraphrasing. Okay, so the technique number 1, this is with the easy sentence. So first is using synonyms. So if you know the synonyms to the words used in the sentence in the statement part of the question, right? That's the best thing. Like it says, my car needs petrol and my vehicle requires fuel. So this is like changing the words we know. It has the same meaning, but we're using the different word, right? Like in sentence here, violent crime is on the rise among teenagers. So violent offenses are rising among young people or adolescents, right? So this is how you can paraphrase by using the synonym. And just in case you do not know the synonym, how you can change the word order, how you can learn this better. So just read the technique number 2, which says change the word order. It says it has this question. Suppose this is the statement in the essay question. It says, as languages such as Spanish, Chinese, and English become more widely used, there is a fear that many minority languages may die out. Right? Now, if I'm the person, I do not know the synonyms. I just completely do not know any word which I can write in place of any word used in the statement. Then change the word order. That means the later part, bring it to the former, like here. So it says there is a fear that, so you are writing there is a fear that, like you bringing it before former position, that many minority languages may die out as languages such as Spanish, Chinese, and English become more widely used. But this is very rare case when you do not know any synonym out of the entire sentence. But yes, if you don't know, then there is no way other way out. You can simply change the word order, right? But the best thing, if you know few of the synonym and you're changing the word order, it will give entire new look to the whole sentence, right? So here it is. There is dismay that. So fear that it becomes dismay. Many lesser used languages. So it says that many minority languages. It says many lesser used languages may die out, and it says may pass away, comma, as languages such as, we don't have to change the noun, Spanish, Chinese and English become more widely used, become more broadly spoken, right? So this is how you can use the both techniques, merge them, change the word order as well. Whatever word you know synonym of, you know some other words for, you can fix those words in place of that, and then this become your first sentence as a paraphrasing of the statement in the essay question given, right? So this is how you can do it. And after that, now there is again a question here. As I told you, like you have to paraphrase the statement, add thesis statement and outline sentence. So this is the example of the same, how you can frame it, how you're gonna frame the introduction part, right? The question says there is a good deal of evidence that increasing car use is contributing to global warming and having other undesirable effects on people health and well-being, right? Now just changing it, paraphrasing it, rising global temperatures, like this is in the later part of the sentence, and human health and fitness issues. Now these are the two things which are getting affected, and definitely it's getting affected as it is mentioning here by the increased car use, right? So we will be just changing the word order and changing the few words in the sentence as well. Rising global temperatures and human health and fitness issues are often viewed as being caused by the expanding use of automobiles, right? So this is like the former part, it's in the later part in the paraphrase statement. The later part is in the previous position, and some words which we know synonym of, we can change them, and it will definitely give a new look to the entire sentence, keeping the meaning same but definitely with the different words. Then comes the thesis statement. Now this essay actually agreed to this thing, like if the cars are, they are more used, they are actually contributing to these two issues, right? So this essay agrees that increasing use of motor vehicle is contributing to rising global temperature and certain health issues, right? So this essay is like, this is what you feel from the essay statement and what is your understanding from the essay. So this is my understanding from the essay, that the increased use is actually contributing to these two problems, right? So this is how you can write the thesis sentence. And if you know, here you are rising, if you just adding some other word like escalating, right, you can change it, right? Whatever word you can change, and contributing in place of that, maybe you writing adding to the escalating global temperatures, keep global temperatures, yeah, it's going not going to be changed, and certain health issues, yeah, it is bit changed, so it's fine, right? Then come the outline statement where you are just telling what this essay is going to discuss. Now firstly, this essay will discuss the production of greenhouse gases by vehicles. Like this essay will discuss the production of greenhouse gases by vehicles. This is the first idea you're going to present in the essay. And secondly, it will discuss other toxic chemicals released by internal combustion engines. So this is your second idea, like why it is contributing to these two issues. So production of greenhouse gases by vehicle will lead to global warming. So this is the reason behind the same we're gonna mention in the essay for upward. And then the other toxic chemical released by internal combustion engines, they are having effect on definitely people health and well-being. So it will give answer to this situation. You see, this is now how you can frame the introductions. Should we avoid using word my opinion, I think, etc.? It's like if they are actually asking your opinion, it's like it will not harm anything, it will not decrease your score or something mentioning that my opinion, if actually the essay is asking your opinion. And if you think, but yeah, on a formal note, if we say Like it's better to avoid writing any active voices, like I think that, right? Rather than, you know, that the passive voices are the best. But yes, essays normally they ask your opinions, and in this, and in that case, if you're even mentioning that my opinion or I think so, it's not bad. So it goes with few of the sentences, right? So better you can use the passive voices, like in this form we use this, like this essay will discuss. Now this is my opinion, definitely, that greenhouse gases by vehicle production of that and other toxic chemical, these are the two things I'm going to basically mention. But rather than writing I think or my opinion is, you can simply quote it into the passive voice. This essay will discuss the production of dash and the other thing we have mentioned already. And kindly, the students who are joining the class right now, keep the mic on mute, please. Okay, so this is the introduction. Now this has paraphrasing, this has thesis statement, this has outline statement. So this, as per the structure we discussed previously. So these are the three sentences, and this is enough. And this will tell the examiner exactly what you are going to write about in the essay. What is your understanding of the essay? And of course, it will be having paraphrasing of the question as well. So you can vary the lexical resources here as well. So there comes the second parameter after task achievement, which actually you start receiving score from the introduction only if you're following this structure. That's your lexical resources, your vocabulary in simple language. So if you're just paraphrasing the things here perfectly, so definitely the second parameter is one thing where you will start receiving the score. And if you're writing the same word, like you changing the word order only but not adding any synonym, somehow you're not receiving as good score as you can receive with addition of the synonym. So it's always advisable that try to change or use synonym in the changed word order as well to score more here for the lexical resources, right? Moving to the next, which is the second and third paragraph. Okay, thesis statement. Some student have this question like what it is. So it is the way you feel about the whole issue in one sentence. That's become your thesis sentence, right? So you know that there are two essay category where you are mentioning them, and three essay category where you're mentioning them, and there are two essay categories where it is not needed, right? So just be sure of what is the essay category, right? And if you adding it or not, right? So this is how you are adding it. And it is the basically description of the how you're gonna get score for the writing essay, right? Now it has a differentiation of the band 5 to band 8. Band 5, it says, addresses the task only partially. The format may be inappropriate in places. So now you know that if you just there are many who are on the band 7, the requirement is band 7 for them. So difference is there. You can clearly think of the difference. Suppose you have already given exam, so maybe you're just standing at 5 or 6. You can better read these things, like what is needed to add up in your essay writing so that your score can increase. If it's band 6, suppose, address all part of the task, although some parts may be more fully covered than other. So it's like very important. So whatever topic explanations you are giving for the ideas you are mentioning in the essay, they should be equivalent. It's not like the one idea you just explaining fullest and everything you're just adding into that, and it is like formed formation. It has an idea, description of the same, result of that, example of that. But going to this next paragraph, you're just writing the idea, adding example and result. You're not bothering to explain that idea. Why? You're not adding any explanation. So it will actually decrease your score. So the both paragraphs you're writing, where you are mentioning your ideas, they need to be having equivalent structure, like equally explained. And definitely they not, obviously it should not be over complicated or over explained, which actually lose the relevancy to the essay, right? And then present a relevant position, although the conclusions may become unclear or repetitive. So you just present a relevant position in the essay, that whether I'm agree or where I stand in both opinions, right? Or where there are more advantage or disadvantage. like you just took a clear stand there. But the thing is, when you writing the conclusion, you became unclear. Sometimes student gave the biased opinions, right? So this is what I told you. You don't have to think personally, like whether I am agree to this situation or not. According to SAC, where the more weightage is, or maybe just simply practically pick any one side and write your conclusion. It needs to be very crisp and clear. If you're giving biased conclusions, so definitely those won't be considered clear conclusion, and we need clear conclusion to get more scores, right? And definitely they should not be repetitive at all. Like any word you are repeating in the any way you are writing the phrase in the essay, and same way if you're writing the same thing in the conclusion, you're repeating the same phrases, because that's what you're doing. You're just restating the ideas you already discussed in length, right? So if you're using the same words, definitely you won't be receiving good score on the conclusion part. And present relevant main ideas, but some may be inadequately developed or unclear. That's what we already discussed, that you are just explaining the two things in the essay maybe, so it need to be equivalent, and the description need to be as equal as in the both paragraphs, right? And question part is important. Like the question is saying, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? That means your essay need to have this description, so it is like covering all the parts of the question. So that's first parameter, which is task achievement. And here, when you will be receiving band 7 for the essay, when you are addressing all parts of the task and keeping it equivalent, and then present a clear position throughout the response, extend and support main ideas. Like you see, it is clearly mentioned here that you have to extend and support the main ideas you mentioning in the body paragraph 1 and 2. But there may be a tendency to overgeneralize, and or supporting ideas may lack focus. So sometimes students, they tend to explain it like this is like making it over complicated, over explanation. They just try adding them. Okay, that's not bad if you just want to receive 7, but yeah, keeping it relevant and explaining it to the said limit only, said words only. You have to frame the said limit for every paragraph you are writing. Like in introduction, I'll be writing this many words. Body paragraph 1 and 2, I'll be writing this many words. This is like designing a layout for your essay, right? That's what you already have to do while in the practice sessions only, and keeping it to there, because it will help to not to overgeneralize the things. So you will be keeping it relevant only, because overgeneralizing equal to the you will be losing the relevancy to the essay, and ultimately you will be losing marks on the same, right? And here is the band 8, that's that it says sufficiently addresses all parts of the task, presents a well developed response, right, to the question with relevant extended and supported ideas, right? And examples play also a vital role here. So if you just keeping it to the relevant to the question asked, you are extending the ideas you are mentioning, you giving the supporting details to that with definitely in the form of the examples, so you will be receiving good mark on the same, right? So this is called the how you will be getting the score on the task achievement, right? And then how your essay paragraph, the supporting paragraphs order need to be. Like this is the I mean this is like I mean here it goes with the example, I guess. Yeah, so it says increasing the price of petrol is the best way to solve growing traffic and pollution problems. To what extent do you agree or disagree, right? Now suppose this is an essay given, and this is the question to that to what extent do you agree or disagree. And here we are writing the introduction is done. Now we are writing the body paragraph number 1, right? So it says what should be the order. The topic sentence, right? The very first sentence in your supporting paragraph should be the topic sentence. That what our structures also said. Each paragraph should have one main idea. Now some students have a doubt here, like how we can keep it to only one idea only. Now it's very simple, guys. When you're writing something, suppose here we are writing that raising fuel prices is the best option because it would lower demand, right? Now everything I'm writing under this as description, explanation, it is actually addition of the sub ideas you have noted down on the paper. So don't be confused with that. The main keynote here is that this is the best option and it will lower demand, right? Now this is because that economic law dictates that the higher the price of a commodity, the lower the consumption of that product. We know that, right? So this is the topic sentence. This is the explanation of that, like why this is if we raise the fuel prices. So the economic law dictates that the higher the price of a commodity, comma, the lower the consumption of that product, right? And there comes a resulting statement as well. And this will lead to less people using vehicles, right? For instance, there comes the example. So this is the structure you have to have in your description paragraphs, which is second and third. For instance, when the price of fuel skyrocketed during the oil crisis in the 1970s, there was a huge reduction in the amount of cars on the road, right? Now you see this example, you can, I told you already, you can pick it up from any anywhere you have read it, listen it over the news, or your friend discussed with you, or you just come to know about from your any literature books or your actually course books, or maybe you can just frame one, right? But keep the language formal only. The tone of every sentence you are writing up there, it need to be formal, right? I'm taking just a minute break. I need to drink water. Just a minute. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's see, guys. Now, this is the example of the body paragraph or the supporting paragraph. Now, suppose you are also making an introduction for the same essay, like as we discussed earlier, an example, how to frame the introduction, and we have to paraphrase the same statement, right? So how can we paraphrase this statement? Increasing the price of petrol is the best way to solve growing traffic and pollution problem. Can anybody tell me, by using the technique number 2, which is changing the word order and adding synonym, how we can paraphrase the given statement? Anybody? Give it a try, guys. Are you there?
Can try maybe.
Yes.
And nowadays we can reduce the traffic on road due to the uh, like what we can increase, what another word we can use, like
Yes, we
we
can
can
use the
we can boost the price of the fuel
Mhm.
for automobiles, so
Mhm.
that could be the best option.
Okay, nice try, Sheetal. Thank you.
Yeah,
But you can, how you can better frame it? As I
yeah,
told you, the later part,
yeah,
bring it to the former position. So
yeah,
here it says the best way. So basically, this is the second part, the best
yeah,
way to solve growing traffic and pollution. So I'll be bringing it to the first, the
yeah,
most effective way to, and any word for you solve, if you know, the most effective way to solve, to have a solution for escalating traffic and pollution issues is to enhance the price of fuel, full stop, right? So this
yeah,
is how we can use the change the word order plus using few of the synonym, and we will be good for the first sentence. Actually, we're showing the lexical resources there, the knowledge of the framing the sentence, the same sentence with different meaning, right? So this is how you can paraphrase the first statement. And thesis statement. Now this essay agrees that this essay is saying this essay is agreeing to this given situation, right? So this essay agreeing that this is the only how we can write it, like how we can give a thesis sentence here. The people asking question, can you please give an example of the thesis sentence for this very essay if you are just writing the introduction?
Yeah, I can say that this essay extremely agreed with the opinion given on the top because it has been proven before. You can start like that.
Yes, you can talk like that, but try to do not add the phrasal verbs on the top. And also, Sheetal, you use the word boost.
Oh
So
yeah.
basically, first try to pick up the words which sounds more formal,
Okay.
and the
Yeah.
phrasal verb, you know that we have to
Yeah.
completely avoid them,
Yeah.
right? Phrasal verbs, we you know that, like when we using the verbs, but they come with the phrase only because their meanings cannot be inferred with the separated or the individual parts. Those are called phrasal verbs, right? So not to use them because they are not formal. They are used for the verbal language. When we just talk to somewhere leisurely without any formality, then we can use them, right? This is
Yeah.
right, but yes, choice of the word need to we need to polish. But definitely when we are writing, we are more into the essay and we can pick better word at that moment. And then comes the outline sentence, how we can frame the outline sentence for the same. Now this essay will discuss, as we started, this essay will discuss if you don't have to write the main ideas in the thesis outline sentence, maybe you just simply quoting up a outline sentence, how you can write the outline sentence. What this essay is going to discuss basically.
This
Pros
essay
and
is going
cons.
Okay. Any other?
this essay will discuss about how can the consumption of fuel price can
Affect the
affect the traffic pollution issues.
traffic and pollution. You can keep it same because
Growing,
they are the main
growing
issues.
traffic. Yeah,
Can you
growing
say it
traffic
again, please, Paul?
or
Thank you
and
very much. But can you please say it again?
this essay will discuss about how the traffic issues can be solved by raising the price of petrol,
Okay.
and which can also
Okay,
contribute
okay,
to.
okay. So one more thing now, because definitely that's why I'm asking you guys, when you adding how. So when we making any formal sentences, so it's like highly recommended that you need to avoid WH questions, right? So if we have to remove this how from the sentence, rest is fine. So it will come. I'll show you the example we did before for the introduction. Here it is. This essay will discuss the production of greenhouse gases by vehicles. And secondly, it will discuss other toxic chemical released by internal combustion engines, right? So you see, this is actually the same sort of essay where it's saying increasing the price of petrol is the best way to solve growing traffic and pollution problem. So this essay will you can simply, if you just make a simple outline sentence, so you can simply say this essay will discuss the solution or the ways, maybe this essay will discuss the ways how the increased price of the fuel can have a great effect in reducing the growing traffic and the pollution issues, right? So maybe in a simpler language, if I don't want to actually add the main ideas in that, I just want to make it an introductory sort of outline sentence. So this is the way you can, and try to avoid it is for everyone, because this is what I actually read in the essays. Sometimes student write how to, this is very common, and yeah, this is the most common one. So this is to be avoided when we are writing formally, right? Now here you know that this is going to be the introduction. There comes the body paragraph. topic sentence, explanation of that, adding a result to the same, and then backing it up with an example. Yes, Paul?
I've just seen on previous example, like writing down these first 2-3 sentence, like introduction, what is gonna discuss, and all of these already taken around 60 words. So out of 250, already 60 words there. Then if we think 25 more words for the conclusion, then it's already 100 word finished there. So 150 words we just have to use to give our idea in opinion one and in the main body. Isn't it too less?
What are you saying? Like if you're just saying the introduction, we just consumed 60 word, and suppose we
Yeah,
just
on the
used
previous example, I was
because
just talking.
okay, let's say 60 word we consumed there with the introduction, approximately 30 word or less than that you will be using in the introduction or conclusion, right? And the remaining one you will be writing in the body paragraphs. So this is what I'm saying. Now you have to design the layout for you. So because every person, the words you guys are typing or sorry, writing in a sentence is different. For me, the average word in a sentence are 6, right? So maybe I have to write more sentences, but definitely this is the only you can come to know when you actually writing or typing the essay. Like this, if I'm just following the structure, I'm writing this many words here, so I'm left with only 200 words now. How I am going to divide these 200 words in the remaining one? But the conclusion, you know that you don't have to write too much in there. Just in case you are paraphrasing the introduction, that mean if 60 words are there, so around 50 words you will be writing in the conclusion as well. So 60 and 50 is, I'm bad at math. What is the total there?
110.
110. So the remaining words you will be just dividing in the body paragraph 2 and the third one, right? So this is called like thinking of an layout, and this is what you can individually do as per the words you are writing. And definitely you need to write 2 or 3 essays, only then you can decide, okay, now this is the way I will be writing, and I'll be keeping it to the said word limit as well.
Or Aman, we can like introduction and body 1, body 2, write down like 75 words, and remaining 25 we can add for the conclusion. That way is 250.
Yeah, it's like it's simply, yes, it could be
Yeah.
your, see, as I told you, this is different for everyone.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
not same
Yeah.
for everyone.
Yeah.
But
It's
if you follow the structure, suppose
yeah.
you following the structures only I have mentioned
Yeah.
here, and I said you can only write one sentence for the conclusion or 2 max. That's it. That's
Yeah.
what you have to write. And you follow the structures, you will see you will be somewhere around 250 words only.
Yeah.
Right? And definitely when you're actually writing the essay, only then you can understand, okay, I'm 240 or I'm 270 words. And then you can readjust the things for you.
Yeah.
And conclusion, it doesn't have to be having, you know, certain word limit. If
Yeah.
even I'm writing 30 words, they are enough. If I'm writing 15 words and it actually fulfilling the requirement as a conclusion, it is summarizing everything I have mentioned, so it's enough,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, intro, it need to have 3 sentences which is explaining the certain things, and there comes the body paragraph where you can actually deduct the things. If
Yeah.
you're feeling like, okay, maybe I'm writing 1 word less for the idea explanation, I'm just eliminating that to sentence, and I'm just keeping it to the set word limit.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last paragraph after this one is going to be your conclusion. So I always recommend that started with in conclusion, to conclude, the more formal linking words or phrases which you can use here to start the conclusive paragraphs, right? So these two are the perfect one. They are quite formal, and this is an example how you can write an conclusion. So better you can count the words here, how many words it is. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 30, 32, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's around 37, 38 words there. This is the conclusion, and it is having 37 to 38 words, somewhere around that. So you see, this is not, it is actually a paraphrasing of, it's going to be a paraphrasing of the introduction only, still having 30, 35 words. So you can better judge like by writing the essay itself, how you are doing it and how many words are there and where you have to make adjustments. Now the introduction, says it is argued that students should be taught real life skills like how to look after money. This essay agrees that they should be the part of curriculum. This is the essay I have taken from the examples above, right? And will you share some essay? Sana, actually we do have classes and it's like everything we cover, but yes, it can't be covered in 2 hours only. So whenever we do have again next time the writing essay class, so I'll be actually coming up with the real essays and ideas you can explain, because till now we have such 3-4 such classes where we discussed many different essays with examples which we can write in there, and also with the ideas, like what ideas we can explain out there, right? So it's like whenever is the next class, we will be I'll try to add the essays and ideas and examples and everything, right? So it says introduction, it is argued that students should be taught real life skills like how to look after money. This essay agrees that thesis sentence that they should be part of the curriculum. You see, this is an example we have taken. I have taken from the essays given as exemplary essay. This essay will first discuss how everyday competencies benefit people later in life, and then talk about the dangers of not being taught how to manage money at an early age. Now, these are the ideas I picked up to explain in the essay, right? This is sort of introduction for the essay. Yes, sure, Harsh, no worries. And then if you do using the introduction to make a conclusion, this is how you can do it. In conclusion, this essay supports the idea. If you are actually supporting the idea, entire the essay, because this is actually, it is there in the outline sentence that you are in favor of this thing. It has benefits according to you. So now this essay supports the idea that teenagers ought to be taught functional subjects. Here it says students, here it changed teenager, should be, ought to be taught real life skills, taught functional subjects like how to look after money, functional subjects like financial planning, right? Because it helps them in an adulthood, right? And now this essay, it has already discussed that how everyday competencies benefit people later in life. So because it helps them in adulthood, now just the whole thing curved into the another phrase, and then talk about the dangers of not being taught how to manage money at an early age. So this is the subjects they need to be taught. And why? Because it helps them in adulthood, and lack of education related to these topics can have serious consequences. You see, now this whole essay actually discuss these two things by explanation, by adding results to that, by adding examples to that, right? And if you're just using the conclusion, if you're just framing such kind of introduction, then you can use the introduction here in the conclusion. And this is the way you can use it, paraphrasing it, stating the same thing in different words, and actually you restated the whole essay in different words and fulfill the requirement. You're not repeating any word here, and it actually covering up the whole essay. So this is how you can make a perfect conclusion here, right? And just in case you are not giving the actually ideas in this outline sentence, then maybe you have to pick the words from the body paragraph, like what ideas you actually mentioned and why you think this is important, and then rephrasing it in here in your own words, like in a paraphrased way, right? And if you're just giving it, then it's very easy, just pick it and just paraphrase it same, right? Few more things about the introduction which actually you need to know, that do and don'ts for conclusion. Like first is you have to actually restate your opinion, right? And what you have to include, you have to include your main supporting points in the conclusion, not the description, not the example. You do not simply copy words here. So you know that, like if you just copying, repeating words here in the conclusion from the essay, so definitely you have seen the marking criteria, your marks won't be achieved to the desired score, right? Use synonym and paraphrasing to vary the language. So that's how I just show you with an example how you can paraphrase and vary the language using the synonym and the paraphrasing techniques, right? And definitely remember that you are not adding new opinion in the conclusion. Whatever you have discussed, it need to be in the body paragraph 1, 2 and 3, right? Okay. Okay. So, but you are not adding any new idea, any new point, explanation, anything in the conclusion, because it just need to be the summarize, like the conclusion of the everything you already discussed. Nothing new needed there. And actually, if you're adding up there, it will actually reduce your mark, not, it will not give you score, right? Now the example we did, as I told you, these are the words I have changed, right? So same way you can do the paraphrasing. And synonyms, definitely, if I do not know the 100% synonym, but definitely I'll be knowing 50-60% synonym, right? And if you don't know, then maybe you need more practice. And if in any case the word limit is not achieved, and you have already written the whole essay, now you cannot do, and time is also not allowing you to rub anything, or in case of computer, delete and retype anything, then how you can achieve the word limit, right? First of all, it's important to actually practice at home how you're gonna achieve the 250 words, keeping to the structure, including everything, and not repeating or utilizing any words from the essay, right? That's what you need to practice. But yes, just in case still after that you're not able to achieve, then you can add a prediction, like what do you think will happen in the future, or a recommendation, what we think that should happen, right, to our conclusion. Like whenever you feel like I'm just running less on the words, I need 10-15 more words to reach to 250, because you cannot write even one word less than 250. So this is the way you can reach to the word limit, which is 250, right? And as I mentioned, this is totally optional, and it is just if you just stuck somewhere and it just says 2 minutes left, and you know that you cannot change and alter the things now, so better, rather than deleting or rubbing anything, better add a prediction or add a recommendation to the conclusion, and you will be reaching 250. But avoid such situation, because definitely sometimes they don't gel up with the essay. They can complete the task achievement, but sometimes they can be just irrelevant to the essay as well, or maybe not needed there. But yeah, in most cases they will be somehow in accordance to the essay if you're adding any prediction or recommendation, keeping in mind the subject of the essay, right? So this is about the task 2 essay. So you have any question, guys, you can ask me now. Yes, everything you will be typing, it will be counted as a word. Everything you will be writing, it will be counted as a word. So that's why I told you there is no way that you are running less than the required word. You will be always, more than, and you have to actually eliminate the things. Because you're writing it will be considered as a word. You're writing an, it will be considered as a word. You see, when you type in system, it count every word you type. It never miss any word. Same goes to your paper-based exam as well. So that's why if you're keeping to the structure, you can easily reach to 250. Okay. It's a paper-based. Okay, paper. That means fine. Yeah, it's fine. Even if it's a paper-based, as I told you, you have to, because obviously you won't be, sometimes it's you don't have time to count the words. So better design a layout for you, that I'm writing this many words in a sentence. So I'll be writing 5 lines for introduction, 8 lines for the body paragraphs, and then I'll be writing 3 lines for the conclusion. So just is there any way we can send you sample answers and get feedback? Would be a great help. Yes, definitely you can do that. And what's your name? It says iPhone. Okay, so it's like one essay, one letter, or one task one. This is the email address. You can send one. Okay, it's Baba. All right, so you can write one essay and send it to this said email. But yes, give your best possible answer. And this is how, and I'll be just telling you the feedback over in the class here. And if you are in the group, I can give you in the WhatsApp group the feedback as well. So it's like, but one essay, yeah. one essay, and if you are general, so one letter. If you're academic student, then one task diagram description. So, and you have to add the best knowledge you have in writing the essay, so that I can tell you what you lack in that, and how you can improve that. Yeah. And it's to everyone, anybody, like as you Paul sitting for the exam. So maybe you can also write one essay and send to me. So I'll be checking it up. All right. And okay, so we still have time. So let's we discuss something more. And talking about the ideas generation. Okay, so these are the things we didn't discuss. This called the best techniques to gather ideas. Now we got the essays, we have essay in the question, we know the structure, we know how to make introduction and everything. And okay, which exam we should book, paper based or it's completely your choice, Sana. And if you feel like you are a good typing person and you can easily type the essay in said minute and you do less typo errors, then maybe you can sit for the computer based, because there is no difference in the my marking, in the timing provided, in the way they check your exam. So everything is similar. So better if you can decide yourself that which test you want to sit for, right? But in case of the listening exam, you will be having 2 minutes in the computer based, where you can only check the answers, right? And in the paper based, you know that you have 10 minutes to transfer your answer. That's the difference with the listening. Rest, reading is all same. Reading is like bit easy in computer. How? Like the screen is divided in two segments. Here is the passage, here will be the question. So it's like everything is in front of you. Paper based, we shuffle the papers, you know that we have to go, come back, look into the text, go back, say into the question. So this is not the case in computer, right? But yeah, some student, they feel like and it become really hectic for them if they just have to think at the same time and write the essay at the same time, type the essay at the same time. So it becomes difficult for them. So that's why you see, it's better you can see the pros and cons. And I do have the slide. If you want me to share, I can share it with you someday, like what are the things in the computer based and what are the things in the paper based. Better you can ask me question, and that's what I can tell you differences. Okay, yeah. So as I told you, the prime difference in the reading is that you can highlight the text, right? And you can increase the font size of the passage as well. This you can do in the computer, right? Which is not there, of course, in the paper-based exam, right? And definitely the answer for like how you are just writing the answer, the format is a bit different, because it's a computer-based exam. So sometimes you have to drag and drop the options. Sometimes you just have to click one right option, like MCQ, ABCD. You clicking the option, of course, right? So this is little bit differences, but yes, reading is bit easy in computer as compared to the paper based, because it's very I mean, it's on the screen, like very easy. The set of the question moves with the move with the passage itself, right? So this make it easy. And you can also highlight the things. You can increase the font size as well. If you want to feel like there is the answer, you can increase the font size, you can highlight that area. So this actually help, right? But yes, definitely you cannot use the find feature, control F feature. You cannot use that. Of course, it's a test. Don't feel like I can search the word keyword and I can easily reach there. It's not the case, right? Listening. So listening, as I told you, in the paper based, you got 10 minutes at the end. This is not the case in the computer based. You will be just having 2 minutes, but computer based, you have to be sure about the answers, how you are typing them. You have to type everything in capital letter to be on the safer side, because the usual mistake students have in computer based exam is their capitalization errors or punctuation errors. You can say them punctuation error as well. Sometimes you need to make the first alphabet capital as you're just typing, and obviously this is something where you're just having a lot of pressure on your mind. So you do miss on these things, right? So this is how you will reduce your score in listening in computer based exam. This is much to be taken care of if you're sitting for the computer based exam, but this can be easily avoided in the paper based exam, right? That's the major difference. And definitely it's at 10 minutes, it has 2 minutes. So this is the one thing. Writing is all same, right? But yes, as like both situation, you will be given collectively 1 hour, right? There will be no division will be given to you. Okay, 20 minutes you will be having to write this, 40 minutes you will be having to write this. So collective time is given to you. It's your responsibility how you are moving quickly to the other item type, right? Other task. After finishing the tasks 2, you are finishing to task 1, or either way 1 and after that 2. So it's your responsibility. And one thing more, computer based exam, the clock doesn't count seconds, right? That means suppose you're left with 1 minute, so the 1 minute keep flashing on the screen on the one side, you know, where there is a clock for the time. It keep flashing. It won't tell you how many seconds to the screen will shut down, right? So this is something bit annoying at times, because it's like 1 minute, how can I know it's already going to be 60 seconds soon, right? So better if it has seconds count, like it's 35 seconds to screen closure, like 5 seconds to screen closure. So better it better give you an idea, okay, yes, now I left with this time. So this is one thing students normally complain about, that they don't know when the screen is going to shut down after 1 minute, and sometimes they're just doing something and they just close off, right? So this is one thing you need to practice. And if you are in the WhatsApp group, there is a link posted by Shan, right? That link is about computer based exam. So there is a video, better you watch it. You can learn about the differences, pros and cons of the same, and you can better decide which test you want to sit for. There is no difference in marking criteria, checking criteria, anything. The number, type of the question, the time given to you, everything is same out there, right? Okay, so any question, or should we discuss these 2 slides left? So these 2 slides says best technique to gather idea. Now we got the essays and we don't have many ideas with them, with us, like how we can write this essay. So the best thing is, first thing you have to discuss the 10 common topics. Like the 10 common topics, out of that we discussed a few in the class in the previous week. That was arts, that was sports, that was technology, right? So 3 topics we discussed. So actually the thing is that the essays here, the major branches, I won't say branches, the major tree are same as in PT. We got the essays related to education, related to sports, related to technology, related to education of the children, behavior of the children, crimes in the society, and arts, related to arts, essay related to arts, and of course the problem essay, like the first one is the environmental issues. Okay, Harpreet, can you please turn the mic off? Harpreet. Right, so it's like there are main trees of the topics, right? Out of all, the essays are just derived from these topics. So as I normally tell you guys, like if I'm doing, like maybe in the next week we are doing this class, we are just picking up the topic education, we're doing all the education related essay, and you will see there are many ideas which will gel up with different sort of the essays related to the education, or there are examples which actually gelling up with different sort of the essays given under the name education. So this is actually true with every tree topic, say education, say sports, technology, environment, and then behavior, child behavior, and environmental issues, and arts related essays, right? So it is like these essays having some ideas which can be commonly used. These essays under one topic category can have examples which can be used in any essay related to that particular subject, right? So first thing first, this is what we actually do in the classes. And second thing, I called it 5 question method. It is having 5 WH questions stating as who, what, why, where, and how. Right now, according to these questions, you have to just look into the essay and think of the logical answer to that question. Now this is for logical thinkers only, and we actually have to develop this if we just lacking behind in logical thinking. First of all, like it asks who. So the example cited here, it says young people. So basically this is about the young people and what they are asking them to do. The young people, they are asking them to encourage to work or travel for a year between finishing high school and starting university studies, right? And then it says why. Now here we have to think, if young people, they are working, they are traveling before entering to the university, so why they will be doing that? So just think logically about these why. Okay, now if they just suppose working, so they can earn money, they can be self-dependent, they can invest on their education further, right? And they can have a hand-on experience, practical experience to the fields they want to opt in. They can better decide whether they relate to this field or not, right? So this is like many things why they will be encouraged to work. Coming to the traveling side, now definitely it give exposure to them. They're going to actually explore their interest. Maybe their senior or their siblings opted the art field and they feel like, okay, I'm also going to the artistic studies only. And then suddenly after exploring the life, her inner self, he feel like, no, I'm more related to engineering because I have the keen interest in these things. So definitely it's like exploring oneself, right? Traveling. And definitely it gives an exposure to the different culture, tradition, people, values. That's what the environment you will be having in the university. So it will make you mentally prepared to enter into that atmosphere where you will be dealing with different communities. And how you can tolerate, you will be how will you become more tolerant to these communities, their cultural values, their moral ethics and everything, because you just explored yourself going to some different countries, learning about how to cooperate with each other. So maybe this is the reasons, these are the whys. Now where, now definitely if person is want to work, if person is like willing to work, where he will go? He will go to MNCs, he will go to the any company who can a local business who can give him her work, right? Maybe he can apply for the internship, some sort of internship he can apply in some companies in his own city, where he can earn some experience before entering to the theoretical study of the subject, right? And traveling, so definitely the person, according to budget, he can only travel, so the budgeted countries he can go there, explore those places, inexpensive countries, right? And some like group trips he can go after them to different sort of countries, of course, right? And how they can go, how people can go, definitely how people will be going to travel, because if he having money, so how, maybe your parents are supporting you, or maybe you already have saving for the same. And then maybe you have to take the permission from the university you are attending, because maybe they're not taking any student who are having gap in their studies, right? So maybe you have to talk to them and take permission from them, right? And in case of the job, definitely how you will be getting those jobs, you have to apply for them, right? So if you're applying for them, you just using the references, you just doing the market research, that's how you will be getting job. So you see, it's like a chained thing. One question leads to the other one, right? So for every question you get in essay, like when you are practicing at home, just go after these 5 questions: who, what, why, where, and how, and try to give it a logical order. And you will see in short span of time, in just 5 minutes, you will be gathering a lot of ideas related to that topic. Then wisely pick up the things, how you're going to frame them in the essay, and how you will be explaining them further with the relevant details and with the relevant examples. Right now, just as we did this essay, this is how we have gathered the ideas here. You see, why it says who and what we know, right? Why? To gain work experience, to experience life in different countries, to understand different cultures, to make money before going to university, obviously not to be lazy, and to be mature, right? Definitely the students, when they leave high school, they're not mature, they're lazy. To improve all these 2 traits, it's better to just take that gap year and do some work or do some traveling. Where we have here tourist destination, developing countries, as they are more economical. local businesses for job, internship in the big companies. And how? Saving money, permission from parents and university, that's we both discussed, and apply for internship or job, that's how you can get a job or working, travel to inexpensive countries. So this is like these WH5 question method will give you a logical connection between these questions, and that's how you will be gathering more ideas in just span of time, just few minutes, like 5 minutes, and that's it. This is how you can better plan your answers, right? So that's all for today class, right? And the next class we will be having the task 2. It will be about the topics, the essays, and the topics we will be picking, because the one we already discussed we won't be repeating that. I'll be picking few more 3 topics, and then we will be just discussing what essays can be under them and what examples you can write in them. That will be about the next class. Right. Yes. Thank you very much, Sharma. Thank you very much. Okay. I hope this is helpful for everyone, and this is going to be help you to write the essays better and to actually receive your desired score. So whatever we discuss for the task 1, whatever we discuss for the task 2, you have to club the knowledge for the both and then start practicing, and leads toward a more examiner, like what examiner looks into your essay, that sort of essay writing and letter writing or task 1 writing. So that's how, because you know that it's a combination of the both tasks, how you are receiving score, right? So whatever, it's like it said that it's double the weightage, essay is double the weightage. So when you're sitting in the exam, preferably write it first, write the task 2 first, and then write the task 1 later, because it got 6 marks out of 9, and the letter or the other task 1 of academic, it got 3 marks, right? None, it's not like that's not important, but definitely writing essay first, it's like you are in a better state of mind when you start writing, so you can frame better essay, right? So then go to the second one, and never play with the time. So you know that 40 minutes, so be in the set limit only. Nobody is going to tell you it's 40 minutes, okay, move on. No, it's your responsibility. You are just taking care of the time, because time management is the key here. If you're not managing time well, ultimately it will build up pressure and you won't be able to write good essay or letter, right? Okay, so that's all, and thank you very much, guys. I hope there are no questions further. So can we end this session now? Is that all good?
Yeah,
And
ma'am.
the
All
student who just joined us just now, we run these classes from 2 to 4, right? So it's like you guys are really late. So it's like Monday to Friday, 2 to 4 is the class every day. So whenever you will be clicking the link, the same way you just entered into the class, you will be entering the class later as well. So you can come every day here. All right. Okay, Shan. And yeah, welcome, Paul. Okay, guys, so I'm ending this session. Okay, take care. Tomorrow we will be doing some other module of the IELTS. Welcome, Sheetal. Welcome, guys. Thank you. Okay, so I'm stopping it and ending this up. Okay, see ya tomorrow, guys. Stay safe. Bye bye. Take care.